There's nothing worse than going into a store to buy a new super sexy signature scent, right? You take it out, you spray it, you smell it, you go, yes, that's the one for me, right? You leave, you go home, and then you smell it and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't smell anything like I thought it did. Today, guys, I'm gonna go over a few of my favorite fragrance buying tips so that when you go to the store to buy that new super sexy signature scent, you don't get home and regret your purchase. The first tip is to take your time. The biggest mistake that we make is we spray it, right? We do that and then, ooh, I love it, right? I actually do love this because it's Legend EDP fragrance by Pete and Pedro, but here's the deal. You're like, yeah, that smells great. Well, it's the top note. Gentlemen, there are 3 notes. The top note, what it smells like at first, this isn't how it's going to end up. You got to give it time. After the top, there's the mid, and then there's the base, right? The base is what it settles into. And so a great rule of thumb is to spray it on you and then leave. Maybe go eat lunch or go home. It's critical that you actually smell it on you because the way that the fragrance actually smells on different people is going to be different based on your specific body chemistry. And so what I'd recommend, the next tip, is to go into a store without any fragrance on and then pick 2 areas on your body to actually test it. What I'd recommend is actually each wrist you can try a different fragrance. Let it chill, go home, smell it about 30 to 60 minutes later. This is the best way for you to gauge whether or not you're actually going to love the way that it smells on you. And then when you find the one that's going to smell best on you and that you love, that's the one that you go and grab. A great example of this whole transition is Legend from Pete and Pedro. It's a new fragrance that we actually just came out with. All right, when I first smelled this in the store, I was like, wow, that smells incredible. I sprayed it on myself. I got home, I smelled it again. I'm like, oh my God, it smells even better, but I didn't think it actually smelled like that, right? It's all about the transition. Guys, if you're looking for a fragrance that's going to not only surprise you, it's going to delight you and your senses, Legend is legendary.